Overlook, insane difficulty, 3 stars, declassified challenge, all that good shit for Gears of War Judgment. Now you'll notice, typically you don't start fighting dudes at the very beginning of the level, or at least that quickly, and especially before you even get the declassified challenge. There's only a couple dudes there, and the declassified challenge is at the top of the stairs here. There are a couple different checkpoints for this, and the first part's not too difficult. The second part is really challenging. So the declassified challenge, where is it? Anyway, I'm going to pick it up in a second. You also notice that there's a couple Nasher Sentinels in there. There's the declassified challenge. Greatly reduced visibility, which isn't really that big of a deal. It kind of makes it a pain in the ass for the first part, just because there might be a couple dudes that are far away. But anyway, so for this first wave, I like to put the Nasher Sentinels kind of right where I'm putting them right now, kind of at the top of the stairs. And then for the second wave, I put them both in, or there's 2 Nasher Sentinels and 1 Range Sentinel. I put both Nasher Sentinels right at that door to the exit of this little bunker right here, because you do not want to be leaving that bunker. And the Nasher Sentinels that close to any of the Cerberus dogs, whatever the hell they're called, they'll take them out really quick, and and those dogs get distracted really easily by the Nashers, and they focus on them instead of on you. So it's pretty easy to use them for that. Also, I like to save the tripwire crossbow for the second wave of dudes. So there is a pile of infinite. Oh, so there's an Onyx ammo cache in here and a pile of infinite ammo. That pile of ammo right there, that is infinite. Now it doesn't fill up heavy weapons, like so if you get your hands on a boom shot, which I'm pretty sure I do for the second wave, it will not fill that up, but it'll give you infinite Retro Lancer ammo. So do not worry too much about running out of ammo. Just fire blindly, especially, okay, so for this first part here, I'll focus on the first part, even though the second part's harder. Just kill shit as quickly as you can. It's not too hard. I forget what the second wave type potential is, but yeah, just focus on the Nemesis. Those guys, for some reason, well, because of the reduced visibility, your teammates don't do a great job of taking them out. But they will do an alright job of taking out the boomers and any other heavies that come up those stairs. So yeah, stick with that Retro Lancer. It just puts out so much damage. It's really good at taking out the heavies in like a clip. Yeah, I got through this first part without even reloading. I'm just looking at the edits right now, and there's 0 editing for the first part. The second part, though, I know took a good amount of retries. This is a really tough chapter. If you make it through this, chapter, you're not going to struggle. Well, I guess there's only one more chapter after this. And the next chapter is not, well, there's the next chapter and the Aftermath campaign. Aftermath campaign is pretty easy. And the rest of chapter 6 is really easy, though the final boss is a pain in the fucking ass. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have saved that boom shot ammo for the next wave and focused more on repairing my turrets and stuff like that. But oh well, it worked out. It worked out all right. I had plenty of. I still got 4 rounds left, even though it would have been nice to have 6. So yeah, just keep repairing your turrets. And just start spraying at those dudes. Now, the greatly reduced visibility works both ways, really. So you can use that to your advantage. Like, obviously, those guys were just a couple feet from me, and you know, you can tell when the edge of the visibility is, or like the aiming visibility is there, because your crosshairs aren't turning red. So it may be a little bit harder to aim than usual, because you don't have that auto aim working for you. But like the Retro Lancer on full blast at that range, I mean, you're not going to miss any bullets, hopefully. It's kind of annoying that you can't repair that while holding the mulcher. Yeah, the boomers seem really affected by the reduced visibility. So in a way, it's almost a good Declassified challenge to have on. Those boomers, man. Those guys do not fuck around. So, anyway. Move the 2 Nasher Sentinels in here, like looking right at that door. You do not want people damaging the Nasher Sentinels from anywhere except for like directly in front of the door, or like within this room, so that you're also shooting them, and then also can repair those things as quickly as possible. So I meant to grab the tripwire crossbow. Yeah, there we go. And one little trick that I learned from this is fire the tripwire crossbows at about neck height, not down on the ground, because if you fire them too low, the wretches or tickers will potentially set them off, and you do not want to waste those tripwire crossbows on really short enemies. But also, that also means that, well, hopefully what happens is one of the dogs and the riders will come running through, and the tripwire crossbow will take out the rider of the dog and hopefully do some damage to the dog as well. Sometimes it'll kill it. And, yeah, stay in this room and use those Nashers as the last defense. Basically, you just want to be firing as much as possible, just throwing out as much damage as possible, because there are a lot of these dog riders. Now, don't use the boom shot on just one rider. You need to be able to save that ammo for when you need it. So if you see a whole bunch of dudes grouped together like that, yeah, even though I guess there's only one dude there, that would have been an alright opportunity to use it. And also keep in mind, the friendly fire, or the self-suicide damage, is pretty strong with a boom shot. So if one of those guys is too close to you, or even if you try to like shoot the ground behind it, it's not going to be pretty. Or it can be very tough. Like, I probably killed myself just as much as I died doing this, like trying to take out one of those motherfuckers with a boom shot. Now, one thing I don't really know is how, so you saw like some dead bodies kind of flopping around on the ground right there, and they could have potentially been absorbing the bullets that I was firing at the dude behind it. But I don't know if those dead bodies actually absorb the bullets or what. Anyway, yeah, just keep repairing those range sentinels and all the sentinels as much as you can. And hopefully you'll survive. Now, if you're really struggling with this part, you can also throw those Nasher Sentinels right in the middle of the door to prevent anybody from getting through. But I found it, but there's, and then like throw one right in front of the door and then one in the door behind you. But I found it was easier just to kind of listen for the tripwires to go off behind you, and then use that as a signal that you need to start paying attention to the doors behind you, because there are very few dudes that'll come through that back door. It will happen occasionally, so you got to be aware of that, but for the most part, they're all going to come from that kind of front area that I've been aiming at for most of this time.
Done yet!
Should have run!
Ain't coming first!
I told you to stay on that island, Lieutenant. This court has reached a final verdict. Any last words?
Men like you are why I fought the Cog.
We saved a lot of people today.
Yeah, including your ass.
No final words from you, Lieutenant?
Maybe you have a point, sir. We saved, what, 1,000 people? The light mass missile was designed to save millions. I know that. But if Karn had taken Halvo, we might have lost a chance to save anyone.